of different free resources like Dropbox or any of the wiki pages like WebPaint or something like that, that you could use Audacity for recording. That would allow you to put all this information online so that it's easily accessible to the students. Here's the Wikis in Education. This is another free resource where you can go and hopefully create something like this, which is a screenshot of an economics class. So you can see here there's some of the course listings, such as the course information. You have also Intro to Economics and Microeconomics, International Economics, Development Economics, etc., etc. So you can see that students can easily come to the front page and see that. These are all of the different settings that they can also go to, depending on what they needed to do for the day. What I like about this too is that the teacher has made sure to put the rules of conduct here, because one thing that students frequently don't realize, and oftentimes we don't realize, is when we're writing emails to each other or when we're having a discussion. I think he had a discussion page here, right? Yeah, see that? Discussions. There are actually a lot of free resources that you can have discussions on. When you have a discussion, the tone of your email, it's or the tone of your post, it's very, very easy to misinterpret it to be angry or belligerent and offend other students. So you have to be very careful with your choice of words. And I found that my students would frequently use like emotions, you know, like smiley faces or something like that, to lighten what could be perceived as a bad tone in their email. Even though it wasn't a bad tone, it may have been more like business-like, you know, very straightforward. But other people are like, oh, that was so mean. And so just putting a smiley face at the end or something like that was something that they themselves started doing. So those are things to think about. Moodle is another one, but this one is not free. On Google, there's also a course setting where you can do all of this for free on Google. And they actually have a fantastic setup where you can link to YouTube, you can do all kinds of things, all for free. Nice thing about Moodle is they also have a lot of information that you can probably look at yourself and then use that to create your Google course. So use all the tips and ideas that you can get from this section of Moodle. There's more here. And there's also, there are webcasts, but I guess I didn't put them in there. If you have iUniversity is something that has been started as well, and so you can sign up for iUniversity to do your courses online through them. Again, not free, but it is very easy to use, very navigable, and if your university would be willing to front the money for it, it might be something to look into, because a lot of the students have, at least a lot of my students in Macau, they all had iPads or iPhones. And so with iUniversity, it was very easy for them to access the information anywhere. Here's some information again with iUniversity about course materials, like how you would do audio and video, how you would do presentations, how you would do documents, PDFs, and iBooks for textbooks. So you could create the iBooks online and have it catered to your specific course. That's one of the reasons that I really like iUniversity. Oh dear, did I not put it in here? So there's another one that I think I didn't actually add to this. Oh, that's a shame. Okay, and I'm just going to describe it to you, but it's called Cloud Learning, I think, and it's from Japan. And They haven't actually become public yet. They're still creating the information, but what's amazing about this is that they have the grading tool embedded in the web platform. They have participation also embedded in the web platform, as well as all of this kind of stuff. And so it's a really nice way, this web page, to include all of that, and it's up and coming. So not a lot of information is out yet, but if you wanted to Google like cloud language, I'll find it at the end of the presentation and put it up so you can see the page and watch their demo video of what teachers should be able to do. It's really, really exciting. I got so excited about it. So other things that you want to embed or link to, I mentioned TED for Business. And this was actually, this is not business, this is education, but this is the man who I quoted from to begin with. And I wanted to just encourage you to look at this talk as an example of what TED would look like. You can see that you can get the transcript in many different languages here. You can also download, and when you click this button, it'll come up where it will allow you to choose to download with subtitles. And then according to how long the TED Talk has been online, you can choose what language the subtitles you would like. Obviously for us, we'd want to do English, but if our learners maybe aren't as advanced, we might consider having Ukrainian or Russian subtitles. It's a possibility. It really depends on your goal with the information. But yeah, try to watch him. He's fantastic. Sir Ken Robinson. The next thing that I really like is with TED, you can actually link, the Huffington Post has blogs on the weekend. And basically what they do is one of the writers watches a TED post and then writes their opinions about the speaker and about the research or about the topic. And what I like to do is give this to the students, have them watch the original TED video, and then have a discussion on do they agree or disagree with what the author proposes based on their interpretation of the TED Talk. So it's nice. It's a nice way to stimulate discussion. Other discussion stimulators are NPR. Why did there? Okay. So I tried to find stuff that had business. Gun debate actually has a lot to do with the National Rifle Association, which has to do with business, big business in the U.S. because they produce a lot of guns and have a commitment to selling them all. So that might be linked to business in a way. This is a really nice website. You can listen to all their programs, and they very frequently have transcripts. You can see here, this is an example of when you click listen, what it will look like. You can create a playlist and you can share these, meaning you can embed it onto your independent learning website. You can also hear, if there's a transcript, you can download the transcript as well and show it to students or give it to students. And this one is not very long, you can see. It's only 4 minutes and what, 5 seconds? Yes, 5 seconds. And so I like these because they're very short, and I can have students listen to them either in class or out of class as a means of stimulating discussion. Okay. This is VOA. So you can do this in special English, or you can do the regular one. And I chose this one because you can see here they have World Economic Forum rates, and they're talking about global risk taking. You can have, there's a lot of economics in here. Budget decision, health reform, well that's not really, well it has to do with economics. Balance of power, stuff like that. So I also use VOA. They have MP3s that you can download as well. They have transcripts. And sometimes in the special English programming, they also have things such as, downloadable flashcards and puzzles and like crossword puzzles and stuff like that. Also other activities. So VOA is a very nice website to use. In terms of task-based learning, this is not really task-based learning, sorry. What I might have them do with this information is have them follow what the topic of their studies is. And they're writing journals about the topic of their studies. And then I group them into small groups in the class. So we're getting the group-based participation, and they have to discuss their different articles and come up with advice, or come up with, there could be any number of things, come up with a product based on the articles, or come up with a slogan, whatever it is that they're doing. So that would be the way that I would do task-based learning. So there's a component of the independent learning where they're writing the journals by themselves to gather the information and become a so-called expert, right? Kind of like we were talking about with the role-playing. And then once they're put together into the groups, they can discuss, and each has important amount of information to contribute. And then you have the presentations, the group presentations of the product or the skills. Questions? I think I'm going fairly quickly. And yet we're still almost out of time. Okay, so some of the places that I have them look for information.
But do you promise to find?
Yes, I